Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Greetings and salutations. Happy Friday. It is 8:10 p.m. And yes, I do know that there are others possibly live streaming right now. And that's okay. You guys can catch a replay later, or if you intend to join now, I'd be happy to see you here. Hold on, let me just kind of turn the mic like that. So I found one of those fuzzy filters. Like wind muffs to put over the microphone. So anyone that joins in here in a little bit, I am going to ask that one important question, and that is the audio okay? And of course, I'll probably play it back and replay too, just to kind of check myself. I felt it was a little bit too sensitive without this wind muff. So I put one on. And hopefully it's doing a good job. Hopefully you're not hearing a lot of pops when I say the letters like P or B, and not a lot of hissing when I say the letters T and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah. So while I'm waiting for several more people to kind of join in, feel free to say hello in the comments. Love to have you guys here. And yeah, late night Friday stream. How is everybody's Friday starting off? Friday night. Did you guys order out takeout food or anything like that? You guys going out for the night? Did you guys just get back from going out? You guys take a nice walk in the park? Gene, what's going on? Hey, how's it going? I'm glad to have you here. T-Mobile Rabies. Your name always trips me out. The audio is great. Good. Glad to hear that. Okay, so talking about a couple of things today on this podcast. So first of all, in the video that I dropped today, I showed you guys Tiller, Gab, and Minds from a mobile browser point of view. I'm actually going to show you guys the website. So I have these tabs open here that I am going to screen share and kind of show you guys around a little bit on that. Different social platforms. But the main topic for talking about the social media is why it fails. You went out for dinner. What did you have for dinner? Please share with us. What did you have? And so we'll be talking about that. We're going to shift tracks from that to talking about Android 12 Columbus. I'll explain what that is and why I'm kind of excited for this. Even though it's not like the most extravagant feature to come to Android, I'll explain what it is and how beneficial it can be, how helpful it can be. And then I'm going to wrap it up with a wish list for what I want to see in Android 12, right? Because I still have a couple of things that I wish Android would do. I'm going to name them off, but I would definitely love everybody else to name off what they would want to see implemented in Android 12. And then we'll just kind of close it out from there. So I don't expect a lot of people in right now. I do know that Sneed is live streaming, and Sneed has captivated quite an audience. So I don't expect anyone to come over to my live stream until later, or to watch a replay. Crab cake sandwich with tater tots. Sorry to make everybody hungry. Crab cakes is good. Crab cakes sounds delicious. It really does. It sounds delicious. No, Android 12 is not already out yet, but in a couple of months, we should start seeing the betas start to roll out. So if you have a Google Pixel that's still supported, you can be expecting to try out Android 12 beta. So, but before I get into that, I'm gonna have a lot of information on that, including the Android betas and stuff like that, what to expect for first-time Pixel owners. I'll get into that here in a little bit. Let me just go ahead and screen share. So first of all, what makes social medias fail? Okay. And it's not so much of the users that it has, but it is the users that it has, if you catch my drift. What I mean by that is that a social media platform fails when nobody tends to want to use it. And that seems to be the thing that happens quite a bit, even when there's good social platforms for people to try out or even possibly, make friends on and probably captivate a much better audience than what they would have, say, on the top main ones, such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. It's hard to do that when you hardly know anyone there. Like, you could make brand new friends that you've are not friends with. But some people, it depends on some people's personality. Some people are just not the I'm gonna get out there and become sociable with just random strangers. Some people are very reserved on that. And so that tends to be like kind of like what shifts a social platform to growing. See here. I think the big reason why it fails is because they restrict freedom of speech. That's actually what's happening today. But in overall, it's usually about like, who's willing to give it a try, right? Because like forever I try to get, family and friends to join Google Plus when Google Plus was a thing. And Google Plus was a very good platform. It really was. But a lot of people were too hung up on Facebook and all that stuff. Bow down for King Tito. Just kidding. Sup, everybody. Yeah, I'm no king. I'm no king, Oscar. That's funny. But yeah, I couldn't get nobody for the life of me to be on Google Plus. And that's usually how it is with social media platforms. But interesting thing, T-Mobile rabies, that you say that because of restricted freedom of speech. That seems to be the number one cause today. Now, while we are seeing a shift in what I call the social media shuffle, because there are a lot of people who don't like the fact that they now know for sure that Facebook buries stories in people's posts that it deems it doesn't want its people to know about, whether it's truth or not truth, they still hide it. We know Facebook does that. And we know Twitter will censor anybody that goes against who Twitter supports, right? So it's not really about Twitter supporting liberals or on the political side, the left is what people refer to them as. It's not that Twitter supports them, because 5 years from now, Twitter can be supportive of conservatives. It's really about they support who is beneficial for them. And when you go against that, they silence you or ban you, which I talked about in the video that I dropped today. Let me catch these comments here too. See, I love Android 11 on my Pixel 3. The auto on hold feature where the phone helps you out when you call a toll-free number. The phone lets you know when the call is connected. Yeah, the hold for me that came out with the Pixel drop to other Pixel devices was actually pretty cool. Having it on the Pixel 5 on jump was actually pretty cool. And so, but that's the beauty of it, right? Is that even if it comes out first, like on the Pixel 5 or like on the latest Pixel of that year, it makes its way down to older Pixels that it will support. So it's always great to see that happen. Well, we'll get into that. That feature was downloaded to my Pixel 3. It's included on the Pixel 4 and up. Yeah. Yep. It all comes with Pixel drop. Google Plus, I tried to figure out why they took it out. So here are the two major reasons why they took out Google Plus. One is that it wasn't catching the way that they expected it to. They wanted it to be top dog like Facebook, which it was getting there, but there still wasn't enough people using it. Now, Google Plus claims that on a daily, its users would only log in once a day and spend 5 minutes on it. And that's the most that they would spend. So to them, it wasn't successful because they expected people to be on it, like logging in and out of it like 8, 9, 10, 20 times a day and staying on there for like an hour, which is ridiculous. But the true reason why Google Plus shut down was because there were too many dead accounts, too much information that was stored on Google servers for Google Plus that they were too lazy to scrub. You know how like on YouTube, any inactive YouTube accounts gets deleted, and that's why content creators start to see a drop in their subscriptions, because YouTube scrubs dead accounts. So if the account was subscribed to you and it has no activity, YouTube scrubbed it, therefore you lost a subscriber. They weren't doing that with Google Plus. And so there was this huge security risk of people's information, and Google was just too lazy to go and just, scrub the accounts, update security for the social platform. So they just decided to just kill the project completely, which is why it ended up in the Google graveyard. Let's see. Gene says, I used Google Plus and I loved it. When they said it was going, I was not happy. A lot of people weren't happy. And see, I don't think Google understands like how popular Google Plus was. When Google Plus shut down, it shut down consumer access. It stayed for businesses, right? So Google Plus stayed as business. And today, the Google Plus platform has actually been renamed as Currents, which was a recycled name, because before Google News and Play News and all that stuff was around, we had Google Currents. which was the news app, and then they merged it to Play. Well, they changed it to Play News, and then they merged Play News and Google News together as just the Google News app. So yeah, Google Plus is technically still alive today. It's just known as Currents, and it's only for business accounts. It's been transformed into business accounts being able to share business like news for the business. So like if like I worked for Walmart and Walmart had a newsletter, which they do, you'd be able to access that on Google Currents if you are an Android user, or even iOS. I think Currents is available on iOS too. So it just depends. But yeah, it really stung because then when Google Plus shut down, it actually caused what I call the very first social media shuffle. And this is where people were trying to find a platform very similar to Google Plus that they can move to, which a lot of people moved to MeWe. MeWe happened to fill that void. It was almost familiar feeling to what Google Plus was. And one of the quintessential things about Google Plus that made it such a giant beast of a platform was the fact is that we didn't have a lot of trolls on there because most of them wanted to be where they felt that it was very popular, which was Facebook. So Facebook, you had a lot of drama, you had a lot of malarkey and all kinds of other stuff happening on there. It didn't trickle too much to Google Plus. It did have. There were people in there that were trolling, but it wasn't as bad as you saw on Twitter and Facebook. And so people wanted to go to another platform to do that. Most people went to MeWe, followed by Twitter, because there was a lot of Google Plus users that I followed that ended up just going to Twitter and being very active on that social platform. So, I mean, that's where it went to. But today, as T-Mobile Baby said, today it's all about free speech. And people are, some people are blunt to say what they want to say on social media, regardless if people hate them for it or whatever. I'm one of those people. And then you have other people who are very, reserved about it, that, think a certain way, but they just don't need to broadcast it because they don't want the drama. And I totally get that. But should you really have to live in fear? Because the whole point of social media is to be social. The whole point of social media is to share a bit about yourself, what you're thinking that day, what you did that day, what you plan on doing. You can share anything you want, your dreams and aspirations. You can share just about anything you want to. I mean, you can't really share some illegal stuff. And I say that because Social Cam did that. And that's what took down Social Cam, was the fact that it had a lot of illegal video content that shouldn't even be up there. Like stuff that you would find in the dark web was actually on Social Cam. And Social Cam was actually a running competitor to YouTube. And probably if they didn't have these idiots take over Social Cam and screw it up as bad as they did, I believe my prediction that Social Cam would have been a top contender to YouTube was it. Because Social Cam got sold off to a company that then took over it. So it got bought out by the actual developers. And it had a team of people, including Roxy, who was like the face for Social Cam. And she was blowing up big. There were Social Cam podcasters that, there was a guy who taught people how to speak Thai. He was Thai. His parents were from Thailand, but he was Thai himself, but born in America. And then he had, a Caucasian friend who he taught how to speak Thai. So it's like this Thai guy and his white dude are fluently conversating in Thai, and then they're teaching people how to speak Thai. And it was a very interesting show on Social Cam, and I subscribed to it and watched it. Even I had a Social Cam channel, and some of my earliest YouTube videos where I was ROMing Android phones, so like the Galaxy S2 Epic 4G Touch, I was putting custom ROMs on that. I was modifying the HTC Evo 3D and all those things. I had videos on Social Cam there too, and was getting a lot of traction. So I mean, you kind of see like where this goes, right? Hey, Josh, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Maverick F14 Tomcat, what's up, Mav? How's it going? Just came from Sneeze Live Podcast. What's happening? So basically, what I'm talking about right now is actually like social platforms and introducing new social platforms for people that are trying to get away from the main ones like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And on top of that, I'm actually showing you guys the mobile website version of them. I did a video showing the mobile versions of them and what they would look like in the mobile browser and stuff like that. I'm also going to show you guys what it would look like if you guys access it from a laptop and stuff like that. Talk a little bit more about them, but not too much. Then we're going to swing it off into Project Columbus, which should be making its appearance on Android 12. I'll go into the details of Columbus, why it was named Columbus, and then finish it off with the Android 12 wish list, since the betas should start popping up soon. And that's where I'm going to finish off at. So got lots to talk about here. Anyways, let me screen share this real quick. So the first social app I'm going to talk to you guys about is Tiller. So let me get that going up here. Now Tiller, like I said in my video today, I know the video was really long, and yeah, it took like a 17-minute video. But anyways, so this is Tiller. Tiller is, like I said, to me it's like the replacement to Facebook. So like if you're a heavy Facebook user, but you're tired of Facebook and its ridiculousness, then Tiller would be like the replacement to it. Josh just joined Gab. All right, bro. Drop your username and I'll try to find you on there. But I said besides the fact that it's the color scheme seems very similar to Facebook, it just has that same feel. I mean, you up here, you have the ability to post to like a story type thing. So like Snapchat, little short story, photographs or pictures. Like not or pictures, but photograph pictures, and then videos. On the right, you have a chat thread, which looks like that there's a couple of people that subscribe to me or follow me on here. I didn't even know about this. Let me see. On the top right here, you click that. You got friends requests. Or how did I get stuck with these many people in the chat? I got, let's see, 5 people in the chat that are actually active right now, and then a bunch of them that's not active. Anyways, so yeah, you have your main feed, right? Just like Facebook, your main feed. It's very identical to Facebook. Really feels like Facebook. But the thing about this site that Tiller has actually made apparent is that they will not censor anybody. So it doesn't matter if you're liberal or conservative, or who you supported for elections and stuff like that. You could post here. You can say what you want to say here. Gosh, people in these Bernie Sanders memes, man. But yeah, you can post videos, and it's like I said, it's got a lot of features just like Facebook. So if I tap on this, right here, you have live video, so I could go live. You can create an album. You can color your post. You can put a GIF image. You can write an article, so you can make it more of like an editorial piece. You can upload a video. You can even upload audio. You can create a poll. You can put something for sale. You can upload voice notes, which I don't understand what that is. Okay. Because I would say audio would be the same thing. You can set what mood, like, if you're feeling sad, and that will connect to your post. You can upload a photo. So you have these options here. You can also just type a text. You can tag people by putting @ in their username. You can hashtag, a popular subject. Those things are there with Tiller. You have various stuff on the sidebar here. So you got your favorites like newsfeed, my articles, my products, and saved posts. You can advertising. So there's ad manager, wallet, boosted posts, boosted pages, because you can create pages on here, and you can also create groups. And you notice that the icons here really look similar to Facebook. So that's some of the crazy things that I've noticed. That's why I said this is like a Facebook replacement, and it's called Tiller. And I mean, they even got like a job section here, job postings and stuff like that. It's very identical to Facebook. But the downside to this is that there is no app for Android. There is no app for iOS. There is no app at all. So you can go into the Play Store and type in Tiller, and nothing will come up for you to download. Actually reached out to the developers of Tiller to find out why they haven't made a mobile smartphone application, whether for iOS or Android. I'll try to find it out. Is Tiller available on iOS or Android? No, it's not. It's not T-Mobile rabies. So the way that I have it set up on my Android phone is that when I went through Chrome browser and I searched up Tiller.com and signed up and everything like that, it asked me if I wanted to add an icon to my home screen, and I selected yes. And when you tap the icon, it opens. It doesn't show like the Chrome search bar on the top. It completely mutes that away out of sight. So it does kind of look like it's an app, but it's mobile browser. When I find out the reason why, I will make an update video explaining why Tiller does not have a mobile app yet. And it could possibly be that they decided not to do that because of what they seen Parler go through. And yeah, that could be it. I mean, because for Android, it's very easy to sideload things. If they created an Android app, but they hosted it on a different download server rather than the Google Play Store, you can always sideload it. And that's possible to do since Android's open source. It's not like Google can go and lock that down. But for iOS, I don't know how they would actually sideload it on there unless you jailbroke an iPhone and you had a cracked iOS, then you could probably sideload it there. But for most people who don't know how to jailbreak their iPhones and don't even fiddle with their iPhones, it'd be pointless because then they wouldn't be able to sideload it. But yeah, there's no mobile app for this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at Gab, which Josh said that he's on Gab too. So if Josh drops his username, if you guys sign up for Gab, you guys can go there. Now Gab is what I call my alternative to Twitter. So this pretty much looks like Twitter. You're on Gab also? Okay, I have to find you guys on there. But yeah, or you guys could just add me. Let me full screen this so you guys can see this better. That'll probably work better for you guys. Anyways, so yeah, my handle on Gab is @TheGhostShadow, all one word. Yeah, I have nobody following me. Trust me. I'm like a loser on this platform. I don't know, but maybe it'll take some time until people start catching some of my posts and maybe they like them or whatever. But Gab to me is more like Twitter. Twitter meets YouTube meets Google Plus. So there's a lot of things that you have going on with Gab, but the main point of Gab is that it is microblogging, which is the same field that Twitter is. So yeah, on the left side panel, you got home, notifications, chats, groups, lists. You can explore it. There's a pro feed, and I'll explain that. There's news, more, and then you can explore more. You can shop. So there's like apps within Gab itself, and again, you can subscribe to Go Pro. Now, the feed looks pretty much like Twitter, except that when you go up here to where you would write a post, you can upload a photo, you can insert an emoji, you can add a poll, you can choose the visibility of your posts on Gab. You can create a warning, you can schedule like a post. You can set a time limit to where like a status that you post expires, so people have like 24 hours to read it and it's done. And rich text editor. So those are some of the tools that you have. By the way, what I didn't mention about Tiller, and I noticed that Gab has this too, is that you can anonymously post on Tiller. So if there's a post that you want to share of your thought, but you just don't want the ridicule and backlash because that people don't want to hear the truth sometimes, you can always make a post of your thoughts and feelings. But if you mark it as anonymous, it will not put your handle on there for people to know who wrote it. It'll just say anonymous user, or I'll just probably have like some generic username, and then you can post. So that could be a catch-22 situation, because while it's meant to protect your privacy so you don't get bullied online or whatever, it can also be bad because people can use it as a tool to troll people, and it's just ridiculous. I don't know the parameters of posting anonymous. I don't know if you choose to make it an anonymous post, you can't tag people in it. Hopefully that's something that you have in place. But anyways, Gab has that similar thing too. You can choose the visibility of it. You can choose to whether you post it to a timeline or to a group that you're involved in, so it makes it real easy. Of course, on the right side, you have like a quick synopsis of your profile, and then you can donate to help keep Gab open, because Gab is not dependent on AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. They have their own hosting server, and they don't have their own. They're on Epix, which is the same one that Parler struck a deal with. But yeah, so then on the right side, you have news articles that you can read. Of course, they have like, a shop here, so you can, get different merch. For instance, the one that probably people don't like is, some people don't like, some people do like the Pro Orange Man Good t-shirt, and come and take it, unisex hoodie. You got, Comcast Fake and Gabby the Frog. So I guess the frog is their mascot. Now, I will warn people, Gab actually has more conservative supporters on there. And, yeah, so if you want to take advantage of it, you got to understand where you're going, where you're about to go into. You're going into the lion's den. There's a lot of conservative users there. As a matter of fact, Gab has slowed down a little bit because there was a surge of Parler users who made their way there. And yeah, so now it is full with a lot of conservative thinkers. And before people say, well, that's kind of jacked up, it seems like it's street racers out tonight. Before they say that, it's a little jacked up, a little messed up, and whatnot. So you gotta understand, Facebook. To be honest, Facebook is more liberal support. Twitter, more liberal support. They support a lot of liberals, they support a lot of Democrats, and they shame the hell out of Republicans and conservatives. So Republicans and conservatives needed a place to go. Parler was that until AWS and big tech took them down. So Gab, which was also another spot, got a huge surge of people that joined in. Anyways, so that is Gab. Now, Minds is where it's going to get real interesting, okay? Minds going to get real interesting. And I mean, there is a social platform called Minds, M-I-N-D-S. And this one is what I picked to compete against YouTube in a way. Now, it's not exactly like YouTube, but you can be a creator. You could be a content creator on Minds. You can monetize your videos and your photos. And at the same time, too, you can also create a membership where, you have exclusive videos that only your members can see. You set the price of what your membership is. You also set the price of how many tiers you have. So I'm on Minds right now. I'm going to full screen this so you guys can see more majority of the site itself. This is what it looks like on the web browser. Yeah, so I think this is like 2 days old. There's my handle right there at the Ghost Shadow, all one word. But yeah, so this is like your news feed. It looks like regular social media. You have, different, like your timeline feed posts. Almost looks more like Twitter on the web browser, the full web browser. You get suggested channels, so people that are suggested for you to follow. You can search up what's the more popular tags that's out there. And while this is another platform that conservatives have gone to, it's not really flooded with conservatives. It's more flooded with artists and video content creators more than anything that I've seen. I've seen a lot of, things based on photography, nature, photos, video editing, things like that. I see more of that on here. But anyways, yeah, so you have your news feed, you have Discover. So if you click Discover, you can see, things that's recommended to you by your tags, what's trending, memberships, because there is a membership thing here. Yeah, you just discover new things to see and, new people on there. Minds Plus. So here's where, people that are considered Minds Plus users are able to see, and you can upgrade to become a Mind Plus user if you want to. I'll bring that up. I'll go back to Gab and show you guys also what the Gab Pro does. I think I just totally skipped that. I'm not trying to make this too long about these social platforms, but anyways, so one of the things here that you can do with your videos, like you're going to upload a video or something like that, you can monetize it if you have monetization open. I think Mind Plus users are able to monetize it. If you are not a Plus member and you want to maintain a free member, but you still want to make some revenue on your content, you can create membership tiers. People that like your stuff and follow you, they can join for a monthly subscription. You set your rate. Like I said, my membership tier here is called League of Shadows, and it's only $1 a month. And a lot of my private blogs will be accessible to Plus members on there for them to see. Just I gotta make more money to give to the kids. My kids are getting older. Simple basic toys is not cutting it anymore. So they want to go to the zoo. They want to go to a lot of places, and I want them to have more things. So I am trying to generate more revenue. But anyways, yeah, you could do that here too. And you don't have to have 1,000 subscribers. You don't have to have 4,000 hours of watch time. You can start making money on content right away, which is even just doing the membership tier thing. Now both Minds and Gab have a paid bracket. So I'm going to click here upgrade today for mine since we're already here. Annually, it's $5 a month. So you got to go 5 by 12, and that's what you're actually going to pay. If you decide to just go monthly, it's $7 a month. So if you choose annual pay, you're going to, basically save $24 than if you were to pay monthly. You can do that, or you can choose to pay in US dollars, or you can pay in tokens. You actually earn tokens from people on here too as well. That's considered money, but this actually accepts various different types of payments. So, you can get paid in Bitcoin, you can get paid in with Ethereum. So yeah, it does use a cryptocurrency as well. Let me see. There's supposed to be some other stuff. So the monetization terms right here, you would have to agree, subject to terms of this agreement, provided that you are currently subscribed to Minds Pro. So you have to be a Pro member or a Plus member to be able to monetize. So if you decide to do the annual payment or to do the $7 a month payment, by doing that allows you to monetize your videos, which, ads will run and you will get paid on those ads being run on your video. As well as making additional money with having a tier membership. So yeah, that's something that you can literally do. Let's see. Hi, Tito. What's the topic tonight? Topic tonight, I'm just the same things that I showed in today's video for the mobile version. I'm showing the website versions of them, and then we're going to talk about Android 12's Columbus feature, which they're saying is going to probably show up in Android 12. And then also a wish list for Android 12 as well. Anyways, freedom of speech comes with rules and responsibilities. No, that's where you're wrong. Look at the two key words in there: freedom of speech. Why do people think that comes with rules and responsibilities? Freedom of speech means that I can say what I want to say. It does not say you can say what you want within boundaries of things. You just have to deal with the consequences of the things that you say. See, that's something that I understand about freedom of speech, Michael. So I can sit there and say that I'm going to punch the dude down the street in the face. There's nothing that should stop me from saying that. But the repercussions of me saying that is that I have to then deal with the consequence that he punches me back. Okay? Freedom of speech is I'm allowed to say. I don't understand why there are people that's like, if you don't agree with the way that I think, you're not allowed to talk. To me, that is a bunch of crap. And that's why these platforms are starting to pop up. Nobody should be stopped from saying what they want to say. Just like right now, you're here saying freedom of speech comes with rules and responsibilities. Even though I don't agree with that statement necessarily, I'm not blocking you from saying it because it's your right to say that on here. You know what I mean? Just like if you want to call me derogatory names or anything like that, you can say it. Just I have the ability to block you, and then I don't have to deal with it. And yeah, but doesn't mean that you're not allowed to say those things. You're allowed. But anyways, back to Minds. So actually, let me stop the screen share. Gab Pro is expensive. Oh yeah, it is. It is. We're about to get into that, Gene. So let me go ahead and close out these tabs for Minds. And let's go back to Gab. Gab is quite expensive. Gene is right about that. For you to become pro on Gab and the benefits that you get out of it. Okay. So I'm gonna click upgrade to pro. And you guys will see. So there are the plans itself. Let me full screen this. Just so everyone sees it clearly. But yeah, so the most popular choice is their 1-year plan. It's $99. It's normally $189, I believe. Oh no, it's $100. But that's kind of weird. $100, and it's been slashed down by by $1. You save $1 on the year plan. That's crazy. You have a 2-year plan, which is $180. So instead of it being $369, you're saving 50% of that. So then it's $180. 5-year plan, $315, and then $500 for a lifetime Patriot. Okay. Now, these are pricey. Why are they pricey? Here's the reason why. So, Gab does not use AWS. It does not rely on a entitled powered tech company such as Amazon. And I say that because I still don't believe, regardless of what went on, that Parler should have been banned. Okay. If you guys know me very well, Parler should not have been banned, because if they're going to ban Parler, they got to ban Twitter. They got to ban Facebook. As a matter of fact, Brandon Tatum pretty much did a video. And was it Brandon Tatum or was it Just Be Frank? One of the two did a video, and they actually pulled up a lot of tweets, Twitter accounts, things like that. There are hate groups on Twitter, and those accounts are still active and open today. So yeah, it's crazy that they want to talk about the insurrection, and Parler was used for them to coordinate the Capitol Hill rushing. Facebook and Twitter's used to coordinate the destruction of Portland, Oregon, and I don't see them getting shut down. So again, hypocrisy. That has been my word on social media a lot, is hypocrisy. You know, the hypocrisy of you saying Parler got to be shut down because of this. Other platforms are supported for this, but because it's on the same side that you believe on it, it's okay. Slap on the wrist. But if it's on the opposite side, destroy them, kill them, get rid of them. That is wrong. That is wrong in every way. Okay, and I'll be the one to tell you right now, I'm a centered guy. I don't care for conservatives. I sure as hell don't care for liberals, because there's things I'm liberal about and there's things I'm conservative about. But I speak my mind, and that is freedom of speech, buddy. So Gab has to maintain those servers because they are growing really fast. Since Parler shut down, Gab has gotten the surge of users, and there are more and more people that's being added to it that are not conservatives. They're just people. And they're adding themselves to it because it is a place for them to freely speak. Michael, you love to like get me going on these political things. You have a responsibility when you practice your right to freedom of speech to not break the rules, like racial hate, violence, terrorist threats on personal life. Wrong, Michael. I'm going to call you out and say wrong on that. You have a responsibility to the things that you say, but they're not rules. See, rules are binding. Rules are, how do I put it? Rules are resolute, okay? When you break them, there's serious consequences. The things that you just named right there, like racial hate. I've seen people spew out racial hate in the parking lot of Walmart and didn't get their butts kicked, okay? Some people will get mad and they'll beat them up. Other people's won't. But you're saying like there's a definitive rule to it. Okay. If you're saying there's a definitive rule to it, then everybody should be harshly punished, or whatever degree of punishment that they give for things like that. You say violence, but how many people go on social media and wish death to Trump? How many people have gone on social media and wish, death to his son, death to his kids, his son Barron? Are you saying that those people should be harshly punished? Terrorist threats happen all the time on Twitter and Facebook, bro. Why aren't they taken down? Why aren't they severely punished? Threats on personal life happen every day. It happens through text messages too. Does that mean that mobile carrier should be taken down? T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T? Parler was catering to the GOP, Republicans only, but that is no reason to shut them down unless they broke the law. Facebook and Twitter breaks the law every day, bro, and they're still active. So let's throw that part of the argument out. Okay. Parler was catering to whoever wanted to be on there. See, if people would actually go into these things instead of reading the news like CNN and MSNBC, if they would actually just go in there themselves, they would see there were conservative peoples there. There were, yes, the GOP was mostly in there because on Twitter, they were getting silenced. On Twitter, they were getting blocked. On Twitter, some of their stuff was shadow banned. Parler agreed to never shadow ban anybody, including those who were liberal, those who were Democratic. It was only full of people to a specific side because they're willing to use it. The other side, no, they didn't want to because they wanted it regulated. They wanted it to where, like for instance, if I was like, Parler, I see Michael is on here. I don't like him. So I want you to ban 85% of what he posts and make sure that maybe only 9 or 6 people see them instead of, 100,000 people. Parler wasn't willing to do those types of deals. They got it. The good question. A good question about going on the the violence, terrorist threats, and stuff like that. You know, it's a point of view, man. See, there are a lot of people that's trying to change the definition of free speech and say you can say what you want, but you just can't say this, this, or this. No, because if you put limitations on the speech, it ain't free anymore. Now it's limited speech. Regardless, it's limited speech. Free speech, you can say what you want, but because you're saying things, you cannot expect to be protected for the consequences of your words. That's what I believe in. You can say whatever you want. You can call me names. You can make fun of me. You can whatever. And I'm not going to go and tell YouTube to ban you. No way. I'll block you from my stuff so you don't have to see me no more, but that's my right because it's my channel. But I'm not going to stop you from seeing other people's videos by kicking you off the platform. See, that's the point that I'm trying to make. And two, all these people that's on Trump, let go, dude. He ain't in office no more. Biden's president. Chill. That's the thing I say to other people. Anyways, yeah, so Gab has to expand its servers because, you know, as you have Gab, you also have, with the Pro membership, you also have Gab TV. And Gab TV is just like YouTube. So you can post videos of content there too. So that's one of the perks with it. So they have to expand the server because they are growing rapidly fast. But then they also have to, you know, host videos and stuff like that too from Gab TV. That's why it costs quite a bit. Would that go down? I don't know. Let's see what happened at the White House on January 6th. Is that proof that Trump used Facebook or Twitter to break the law? No, but I'll tell you, I heard exactly what Trump said in his speech, and there was nothing that he said to incite the riots, to tell people definitively go out there and attack them. You gotta look at words. You can't just bend words to fit a narrative that you want. Okay. Gab is great, but Gab TV is on Gab Pro. Yeah, you got to be a Pro member to use it. That's the only thing that sucks about it. That's why mine's is a little bit better, because you don't have to be a user, like a Pro user, to upload video content and to make some money off of it. You can always create a tier, get a following, and do that. So I love Gab. It's great for my first time there. Yeah, it's nice to be able to say what you want to say and not be ridiculed. But it's just like any other social platform. That's the point that I'm going to emphasize right now. You will have trolls and idiots on those platforms, the same as you find them on Facebook and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Now, you just have to deal with that, block them and things like that. This is the same thing like when people are like, I don't like seeing President Trump's tweets. That's why I'm glad he got blocked from Twitter. Like, no, why not just freaking unsubscribe from him or block him and you wouldn't see his feed? See, going back to what Michael said, I like Michael. I like Michael because he likes to have these friendly debates with me. What happened on January 6th? Don't go on MSNBC, CNN, or don't go by a person's point of view. Watch the video yourself and listen. And don't listen and try to fit his words to your narrative. Listen to his raw words and come back and tell me, and I will give you $100 that he has to say these words. I want you to break into Capitol Hill, riot and destroy and attack people. If he said those words, I'll give you $100. If not, then you can't put that on him. It's just like when you have other politicians going out there telling people to get in the face of conservatives, get in the face of Trump supporters, you know, don't let them go out in public, you know, like everything's okay. You confront them, you get in their face. We've had politicians say to spit in their foods. What about the police? We've had people told, you know, blue lives don't matter. It's funny that when they say that, I laugh, and I'll tell you the reason why I laugh before I move on to Android 12. I laugh when people say blue lives don't matter, because blue lives, first of all, there's not a blue race. Blue lives are many men and women made up of many different races. So if you're saying that blue lives don't matter, you're saying that the lives of many different races don't matter, because they are those things. When they put on the uniform, they're a cop. When they get home and they take off the uniform, they're a civilian. Simple as that. Baby Yoda in the building. What's going on, man? Showing off some new platforms that people might be interested in joining, and also having a friendly, you know, debate with Michael on our point of view of things. We started this discussion in the premiere of my video today, and it's continuing on right now. I like Michael. He's funny. Let's see. The GOP Republicans are now looking into holding certain people responsible for the January 6th riot to the full extent of the law. They should. I agree there. Those that broke in should be accountable. Even like Trump said in his speech that most people didn't get to hear because he was banned on all these social platforms. They don't condone it. His movement's not based upon it. And so therefore, he wants them prosecuted to the full extent. Okay. But let's go on this. Right. Thanks, Gene, for the $1.99 super chat. Really appreciate it. My kids will love you for it. Let's go on this, right? So 2 days ago, before I get into Android 12, sorry, this is political, people, but I'm sorry. That's why people are probably unsubscribing to me and like not watching my stuff. They're like, shut up, Tito. Here's the thing, dude. So 2 days ago, I seen something on the news that kind of baffled me, right? I seen, what was it, CNN post, and they were posting about what was going on in Portland, Oregon, and they were saying that because people were mad, they were upset at the inauguration of Biden, that they went and attacked the Democratic building in Portland, Oregon, right? They're saying that Trump supporters did that. Okay, now you tell me, Michael, the answer to this. Why is it that every video footage that's come out has now shown the people that attacked the Democratic building was not Trump supporters? It was Antifa. And the reason I didn't know they were Antifa was because the people that attacked it were also holding a sign that says, we don't want Biden, we want revenge. And then it said revenge on police, revenge on, fascists. So, yeah. So explain to me that. You really trust what you hear on the news when CNN says it was Trump supporters that attacked the Democratic building, and then video comes out that it was actually Antifa who's still protesting in Portland, Oregon? That's question one. Question two, why is it that if your cause is supported by the Democratic Party, you can go out and riot, you can attack, destroy cars, destroy buildings, destroy business establishments, loot and rob? Not one politician like Nancy Pelosi then condemned anyone that did any robbing. Yes, I'm not gonna say that everyone that was protesting there did crime. There were a lot of peaceful protesters there, and there were a lot of idiots that took that to their advantage to be greedy. But none of the greedy ones were condemned, right? January 6th happens, and anyone that says they're conservative or a Trump supporter is demonized as a domestic terrorist, and then is being told to be confronted or found. National Guard vetted Biden, trying to find out if any of them voted for Trump because he felt like something bad was going to happen to him. Why? You say that the elections was proper. There was no foul play. What do you have to worry about? Because in the last 4 years, it's been Antifa, it's been Black Lives Matter that's been out there very vocal in protest, right? You don't see a lot of conservatives out there. Trump supporters you see out there, but you didn't see a lot of conservatives out there protesting anything. That's my question. Why is it when it's one side, it's okay, when the other side has to be demonized? How does Biden sit there and say, call for unity, but in the same breath, demonize Trump supporters? How does Biden sign in an executive order to mandate masks worn on federal property and then break his own executive order the same day by not wearing one? You know what I'm saying? All politicians are corrupt, dude. I don't believe politicians at all. All right, let's move on to Android 12. Get the hell off this political stuff. I just met the CEO of Gab. I'm following him. Nice. Congratulations. Hey, give him some stuff. Tell him to open up Gab TV to people who validate themselves as content creators. Like if you have a YouTube channel and a following, maybe they should give you a Gab TV channel. I'm just saying, spitballing ideas since you're in with Gab CEO. Android 12. Let's start off with Columbus. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know what Columbus is, it is the code name for a feature that's supposed to come to Google Pixels. And the feature is the double tap. It was supposed to show in Android 11. So this is why the Pixel 4a, the Pixel 4a 5G, and the Pixel 5 doesn't have the active edge or squeeze for Google Assistant. You're supposed to be able to tap the back, not the fingerprint sensor, but tap the back of your phone twice to access Google Assistant. But this feature, you could actually shift it and make it to where you can drop down a notification shade. You can do all these other things, whatnot. Yes, Michael, you may not watch CNN, but CNN, Fox, and all them, they have an agenda. I say CNN because CNN was the ones that actually came up with that, right? I'm not going to go and then blame Fox for something that they didn't say. I'll blame CNN. But I'm not saying you watch CNN, but I'm just saying because mainstream media does want control. Mainstream media is after YouTubers already. There are several people on a panel that was on CNN that was condemning YouTubers who talk about politics, guys like Anthony Bryan Logan, guys about like Brandon Tatum. They were condemning them and saying that they were spreading, oops, my phone fell, that they were spreading false news and that they wanted them gone and that people should only resort to mainstream media. Okay, you look into that. You don't take my word for it, man. Look, do research, look into that. Android 11, it's cool. Why isn't this available on cellular devices other than the Pixels? Android 11 is on other devices. The Samsung Galaxy S20 has Android 11. Android 11 is Android. Okay, so you remember before they started just going to the numbers, you used to have like Android Froyo, Android Gingerbread, Android, Oreo, Android Kit Kat, Android Lollipop. They stopped going with dessert names or snack names and just went with the number, right? Starting with Android 9. Android 9 was just Android 9, which is 9.0. And they added Pie to it. But not flavor pie, but just pie. And then Android 10 had no dessert name. Android 11 was the next update after that. But on some devices, still have Android 10. So I say this quite a bit. I'm going to say this again. The reason why it's based on the OEM. The OEM is the manufacturing builder of that device. So we're talking LG, Samsung, Motorola, Lenovo, Huawei, ZTE. It's up to them. So this is how the process works. Android builds Android 12. It's open source. So Android puts it up there to say, hey, Android 12 is available. Now, LG can decide if they want to update their LG Stylo 6 to Android 12. And if they do, they take the source code files for Android 12. They have it. So they have stock Android. Then what they do is they build a skin. So let's say their skin is LG UX. That's the last time I remember what they called it. So let's say they got to build a new UI for it, which is a skin they put on top. So now they're going to call it LG UX 2.3 because it's based on Android 12. The core operating system is Android 12, and then you got all the way that LG does things, like the way its icons look, the way its font looks, the way that it positions applications, and the way that the app drawer comes up, or you can turn off, no app drawer, and all your apps are on the home screen like an iPhone. Like that is the UI, which is the user interface that's built by LG. Now, the reason why that they don't all get Android 11 is because these companies know it's more profitable for them to just build another phone and have you go out and buy that phone with the latest Android software than to just make the Android software. Because since Android is open source, LG or any of the other companies are not allowed to sell updates. They can't tell you that if you want your LG Stylo 6 to be on Android 12, you need to pay $19.99 a month to get these updates. They can't sell Android. So they can sell their intellectual property, which is licensed to use Android. Therefore, they'll just build an LG Stylo 7 with Android 12 on it. And people are like, well, I got to have Android 12, so they'll go out and they'll buy it. That is bullcrap. We should not have to watch mainstream media for our news, but that's what they want. I'm not kidding with you, Michael. Do your research on it. They are literally trying to take down not just YouTubers, but podcasters on Anchor that talk politics. Anybody that goes against the agenda that they have, they want it taken away. Okay? This is, again, attack on the First Amendment. So I told you, I'm not kidding. You need to look it up. There's plenty of media channels on YouTube to choose from who will not speak until they fact check their news. Right. They don't care because it's not about the facts. CNN has printed so many retractions because they got shit wrong all the time. Okay. It's not about giving you facts. Mainstream media has never been about giving you facts and truths right now. All they want is for you to tune in, because just like YouTubers are, CNN, NBC, Fox News, their news broadcast is monetized. They get paid for the ads that's ran through their time slot. So if you got 1 million people tuning in on Fox News, and then they see the ad for Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola's CPM is that for every 1,000 views, you make $20. Do the math. That's what Fox is going to get paid from Coca-Cola for running an ad doing their morning news, or during their evening news, or doing their late night news. That's how it works. Just like we're monetized on YouTube, that's how the news makes their money. Now, when you got more people watching YouTubers, whether they're conservative podcasters or liberal podcasters, the point is they're getting the views because more people are on YouTube. You're taking away revenue from mainstream media. Same thing like the tobacco company. I find more ads talking about how deadly vaping is, and they bring in what they call as facts. Got the ghetto birds out. They have more they have what they call facts that ain't right. Facts that's not been proven. Doctors who still contest these theories. Why? Because vaping has become popular. It's gotten more people off of tobacco cigarettes, which tobacco cigarettes is more deadlier than vaping. But you now don't see any advertisement to stop people from smoking cigarettes. Why? Because I did a whole video about this, and that has to do with I forgot what it's called, but it is a deal struck between big tobacco companies and the United States government. An amount of money that they're supposed to pay to the government every year because their products is known to kill, and it's still sold on shelves. This is the buyout money that these companies pay in a settlement. I know it's called a master something settlement. I forgot, but they know their stuff kills, so they pay X amount of dollars every year. This is why certain states are in debt, is because since they're expecting to get a cut of this fund, this settlement that's paid every year by big tobacco companies, they went ahead and bought things with state funding that they didn't have because they were counting on that money to come in to bail them out of any type of debt they would fall into, which when the money gets shorter and shorter and shorter because people have flipped from smoking Marlboro Reds or Newports or Cool Filter Kings, switching over to vaping, now you're getting less money. That settlement money coming in is less because tobacco companies are not making money. So the war on vaping is not to protect people's health. I mean, look at our hospitals today. I'll prove it in one way. Do doctors here, do pharmaceutical companies here create medication that cures illnesses or helps you live with the illness? Because if that's the case, where is the cure for diabetes? Because trust me, a doctor's smart enough to figure out how to cure it. Where's the cure for diabetes? Where is the cure for, for AIDS, HIV? They actually found one. Where's the cure for AIDS? You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's a lot of things that people go through that the pharmacies just make medications to help you cope with it, to live your life until you pass, but not actually cure you from these things. They're not trying to save lives. They're saving interests. But anyways, back to Android 12. I'm like jumping all over the place. This is going to be a crazy live stream. So Android 12, Columbus, right? You can double tap the back of your phone. And you can actually preset that to many different commands that you wanted to do. This was supposed to be an Android 11 because they got rid of the Active Edge, but it didn't come in Android 11. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at this. No, Tito. Now the tobacco companies try to sell vaping products to your children. Well, that's big tobacco companies, but you really want to know where 80% of vaping sales comes from? It doesn't come from big tobacco companies because most people don't buy from them. The Juuls, the Enjoy vape sticks you find at Walmart and crap like that, people don't buy that. People buy these. They buy mechanical mods from companies called Smock or companies called Anokin or what's another one? There are various different ones out there. They buy e-juices from their favorite companies like Red Star Vapor, like Mount Baker Vapor, There's a lot of different juice manufacturing companies, and none of them are tied to big tobacco corporation, because these are the guys who went to Washington to protest on trying to ban vaping when Trump almost banned vaping and made it illegal to vape. So big tobacco companies are not getting millions and millions of dollars. And yes, while they may be pitching tobacco, vaping products to children, they've been doing that with cigarettes too. But yet cigarettes can still stay on the shelf and be sold. And they've been doing this to children for the longest time with cigarettes, not vaping products, with cigarettes. I mean, think about it. So Sylvester the cat is going to take out Tweety Bird, and as he captures Tweety Bird from the bird cage, Tweety Bird asks for a last request, and it gives him a cigarette. Now, I know that was from the movie Mrs. Doubtfire, and they were pandering to it, but there are lots of cartoons where kids smoke. Pinocchio, when Pinocchio goes to that one island where the kids turn into donkeys, him and his friend are sucking on a cigar. So smoking has been pitched to children for the longest of time, yet those products still remain on shelves and being able to be sold. Sure, they changed the regulation, but it's still there. So why is vaping trying to get banned? Why are they completely trying to ban vaping? It could live on the shelves right next to cigarettes. But again, like I said, look it up. Look up why they want vaping to be banned. And I forgot, whatever it is, I'll comment it. I'll comment back here on the live stream. I'll comment the name of the settlement. I forgot what it's called. Actually, no, I can just look it up right now. Let's see. I type slow, so forgive me for that. Oh, the MSA, the Master Settlement Agreement. I will grab that, and then you will know what they pay every month. No, they're not. And I've been vaping for years. Vaping products are not as bad as cigarettes. Cigarettes have chemicals like rat poisoning and all kinds of stuff used to cut tobacco, used to dry it out so that way they can roll it in paper so you can smoke it. Vaping, there's only 4 ingredients in the e-juice. Two of which is found in everyday food and general care products. One of it is highly addictive. And of course, the highly addictive ingredient is nicotine. The other ingredient is propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, and then the fourth ingredient is the flavoring. Strawberry flavor, fruit punch flavor, butterscotch flavor, chocolate flavor. You have all kinds of different types of e-juice flavors. The most popular is custard. Okay. Vaping causes fatal lung diseases that doctors do not have a treatment for. That has not been proven. You have medical here in the US that says it does. You have medical that's here in the US that says it doesn't. Vaping has not been around as long as cigarettes has. It's been around since like the 80s, I believe. The 80s or like the late 70s, but it hasn't been around as cigarettes have been around like in 1901. Okay. Vaping is not deadly like cigarettes are. As a matter of fact, that's why there's no such thing as secondhand vape. Like someone who smokes a cigarette can get somebody sick with emphysema caused by secondhand smoke because they may not smoke a cigarette, but they're around you who smokes a cigarette. People that are around people that vape, they don't get sick. They don't. The best thing that the ad can come up with now to scare people off vaping is you're vaping in harsh metals and things like that. No. The reason why there was ever a problem with vaping that became dangerous is because you got idiots who use what's called mechanical mods. A mod that's unregulated. It doesn't have a DNA chip in it that can regulate the voltage, the ohms, and the wattage. Nothing in there for that. Like this mod here does that. I can click on here. I can see the wattage. I can see the resistance of the coil. So how much ohms it is, which is 0.174, which is sub-ohming. I can see all that. A mechanical mod is an aluminum tube that you put two 18650 batteries in it. That's the size of the battery, 18650s. It has a cap on it, and then you screw a dripper tank. So not a tank like this, not one that you fill up with juice, but one that you drip juice onto a handmade coil, which is wicked with organic cotton. And you drip the juice on it. And then when you push the firing button, what it's really doing is inside that aluminum tube, it's pushing the batteries to touch the bottom connector of a dripper mod, which ignites and heats the coil. This is why you need an ohm reader when you build coils for drippers that are using mech mods, because you need to know how much resistance is going through that coil. Now, sometimes people use jacked up batteries. They don't do battery swaps. They don't take care of their stuff. They use batteries where the wrapping around it is breaking. And so they hit that button, it's unregulated power going to the coil, and boom, it blows up like a bomb and their teeth gets busted out. Is that vaping's fault? No. It's the idiot's fault for choosing to use a unregulated mod where you can't regulate the power going through because it's raw power coming from 18650 batteries. That's it. That's it. These types of mods, not a case of them exploding. Okay? Computer chips inside, regulated chip that regulates the resistance and the wattage that goes through. Okay, I've had these things for a long time. I've been using them for like what? Since I want to say this February. If I stopped in 2014, this will actually be 7 years. I've been off cigarettes for 7 years. Okay? No new lung illnesses, no box mods that have regulated chips, no box mods exploding. So no, vaping is not as deadly as cigarettes is. Cigarettes, you get emphysema, you can get lung cancer, you get all kinds of things because you're smoking stuff that's been cut with some very nasty chemicals, including rat poisoning. Yeah, I remember those Truth commercials that consistently was all about anti-smoking, but now that's flipped, it's anti-vaping. Yeah, exactly. You see more ads about anti-vaping. Nothing is stopping cigarettes. And like I said, I posted a link to what's called the Master Settlement Agreement. This is an agreement between the United States government and big tobacco companies that allows them to sell cigarettes. What?
Do you know what my... Oh, you're using the screen laptop.
Bye. And it's an agreement between big tobacco companies and the United States government. In fact, that they acknowledge that, yes, our product, tobacco cigarettes, kills people. So we're going to pay you X amount of dollars per year for us to sell our products in the store. Right? If they're generally killing people and the government knows about it, they should just ban it, right? Like they were trying to ban liquor during the days of the bootleg. No. No, you guys need to stay inside. It's late. In and close the door. And they need to be out of the room. They're not allowed in there by themselves. Go. Tell her to get out. Show me the money. Some people are using homemade mods. They're not homemade. They're made by brands. There are different brands that make mech mods with homemade vaping fluid. I don't know about homemade vaping fluid. I'm sure there are people that are doing it, which causes lung disease that doctors don't know how to treat. Dude, there's only two major ingredients inside e-juice. There is anyone that adds anything else in there is not making it correctly. They're adding retarded stuff to it. All right. Vaping e-juice only consists of 4 things. 2 of it is found in everyday products. Don't believe me? Grab a tube of toothpaste and read the ingredients. Propylene glycol you'll find in there. Grab some foods, read the ingredients. Vegetable glycerin. It's there, man. Trust me, dude. I've done massive research on vaping. I've been following it for years. Okay. Now this here on YouTube, this is now going to be basically shadow banned because technically YouTube does not like vapors. Hang on real quick. They don't like vapors. They don't like YouTubers talking about vapors. This is why guys like Indoor Smokers and the other YouTubers like Suck My Mod and Dash Vapes. This is the reason why they can't monetize anymore because they don't want it on there. The plan, Michael, is to get rid of these, which most people prefer because people prefer more of a flavor than smoking Marlboro Reds or menthol cigarettes. The plan is to get people back onto tobacco cigarettes So that way, big tobacco companies have a fatter master settlement agreement check to hand over to the government every fiscal year. That is what it's all about, money. I mean, if you follow the trail of all these different organizations, and I don't know how this turned into a whole vaping thing, but I guess we're going in on it. You follow the trail of all these different organizations, these anti-tobacco organizations, and you find out they're actually funded. They're actually funded by tobacco companies. Tobacco companies pays X amount of dollars for this. This thing, this entity actually donates money into the anti-smoking campaigns or the treatment programs to quit smoking. The plan is never for you to quit. Just like pharmacies don't create cures for diseases, they create medications for you to tolerate and live with the disease. Why is that? Because if they cure you of diabetes, you no longer need insulin shots. You no longer need to go and see a doctor every month, right? Well, then there's no money in that, but there is money in it if you have to go see every month. So if they make it where you can live with this disease for the rest of your life, you have to go to the doctor every month, which means that either you're paying out of pocket for every doctor visit and you're paying out of pocket for your prescription medications, or you have to sign up for some sort of medical, but you're still paying slightly out of pocket, or you're going to sign up for like Obamacare, which means that every other hardworking American citizen is paying taxes for that person to go and get free medication because they can't afford it. One way or another, somebody's paying money, and that's where it goes. It's always going back to money. Greed is the biggest problem in society today. So nobody wants to stop kids from vaping because it's dangerous. No, they would rather have them buy cigarettes. Nobody wants, and plus cigarettes are more easily manageable than this. With this, you got to buy e-juice to fill it, but then you got to buy replacement coils. You got to buy replacement batteries. Your parents would figure real quick that you were vaping. Mom, take me to the store. I need to go get some batteries. And she sees you buy 18650 batteries, and then she goes and looks online. That's the popular size for vaping mods. Mom, I need to go by this store. I need to go get just something from the store, and then you come out with a coil to put inside of a tank. I don't vape or smoke anything. Right. You don't have to worry about that. But I advocate for vaping because vaping did get me off cigarettes. Vaping is helping me get down to lower and lower on nicotine levels and get off of it. I'm behind. I admit I'm behind on schedule. I shouldn't even be vaping right now, but I'm getting to it, and I will succeed. I will succeed on getting off of it. It was made as a bridge to help ease people from quitting smoking to no longer depending on anything. Why? Because the nicotine patches didn't work, because the pills didn't work for a lot of people, because the gum doesn't freaking work. The easiest way, some people are what's called visual smokers. They don't smoke because they need nicotine. They smoke because they like to see themselves exhaling stuff. Vaping fills that void for them. There are people who are social smokers. They vape. They smoke a lot. So like on a normal day, they'll get a pack of cigarettes that has 20 cigarettes inside it, and that can last them a day and a half. But then on the Friday, when they're having their friends over for drinks, they smoke like 2 or 3 packs of cigarettes. Why? Because they're in a social environment. They're going to puff away and smoke. Simple as that. That's why it happens. If they had a cure for cancer, they wouldn't get that 5 to 10K a year visit for chemo. It's all about money. Kind of sad, really. Yeah, it is. We have here in Delaware medical marijuana, no recreational marijuana here. They just opened up recreational marijuana here in Phoenix, in Arizona. They just opened that up. So now all the dispensaries here are allowed to sell for recreational use. You no longer need a medicinal card to go in there and get weed. Maverick, candy cigarettes are the best alternatives, bar none. They are. And like I say, they were turning kids on to cigarettes from even at a young age. Selling candy cigarettes. I don't know if you guys remember those. Like a pack of cigarettes. You opened it. It had the wrapper that was like a pack of cigarettes. You put it to your mouth. Instead of inhaling, you poof, and like powder substance would shoot out like smoke. And then you would eat the thing like gum. Busy.
Okay, but
Busy.
I know, but
That means I will be in a minute. Yeah, I know you guys are fighting. My kids always fight. Greed is the biggest problem in America. It is. Greed is the biggest problem in America. I have proof. It is proven fact. Prescriptions is cheaper in Mexico and Canada. Of course. They're not here to cure people. See, it's okay to have a McDonald's in every block because they want people to become obese, overweight, and catch diseases like diabetes and lung disease and things like that. No problem to them. They don't care. It's okay to sell liquor that destroys your kidneys and destroys your liver. They don't care. They'll sell it. Sell cigarettes, destroys your lungs, gives you lung cancer, gives you emphysema. They don't care. They don't stop it. Now it's all about money. If there was no master settlement agreement between big tobacco company and the government, they wouldn't be outlawing vaping. Because literally the plan is, it's not to really outlaw vaping, it's to control it. It's to, what the whole plan of stopping vaping is to get rid of the 80% of the vaping community, which is back home mom and pop shops that makes the e-juice brands, makes the mods and stuff like that. Get rid of them and have it solely consolidated under big tobacco companies like Philip Morris. And when Philip Morris owns majority in vaping, vaping will no longer be a problem because vaping would be part of the MSA, the Master Settlement Agreement. Can government go and tax companies like Smock, companies like Inokin? Could they tax them for the MSA? No. Because they're not. They're not part of it. They're not Philip Morris. They didn't make that deal. There's only 4 ingredients in e-juice and only 4 ingredients in e-juice. That's it. There was only one juice not juice, but one ingredient that they used for a little bit of time. They stopped using it. This liquid actually mimicked the flavor of butter. This is how they created e-juice that was like butter popcorn flavored, like when you eat popcorn from the movies. And it gave people what was called popcorn lung. And it's like pneumonia, but it's like a cheesy bacteria that grows in the lung and stuff like that. And again, and that was no longer used in e-juice. So, like I said, I won't sit here before everybody and say that vaping is 100% safe. But I will tell you it's 98% safer than tobacco, cigarettes, and cigars, and chewing tobacco, and pipe tobacco. That's why I don't smoke or vape. Yeah. Dang, I remember those. I used them as a kid. Yeah. All right, let's get off vaping now because I just done demonetized my video because YouTube will be like, oh no, he talked about vaping and it's in a good way. Cancel him. See, I'm about to be canceled, shadow banned for talking about vaping. Let's talk about Android 12 wish list. You guys chime in. What do you guys think should be an Android 12? Because I got one big freaking thing that I need Google to do. And I've been asking an Android 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. And that is fix their freaking notifications. I have multiple devices that run Android. I don't need to get a text message from my buddy here, Michael. I'm going to use you now, Michael, since you wanted to have this debate with me and stuff. Now you're going to be an example for me. But I don't want to I get a text message from Michael on my phone and on let's say on Facebook, and I answer that and I reply back. And then my phone dies, so I grab my tablet and I turn it on, and then boom, the notification that Michael sent me hours ago pops up. Like there should be a thing that where when you check a notification, Android should be smart enough to know you've checked it. So other Android linked devices will not pop that same notification up. It's annoying. Why? Because if I keep my Pixel 5 off for 5 months, say I buy the Pixel 6 and I turn off my Pixel 5 for like 5 months, when I turn the Pixel 5 on, I am going to get 5 months of freaking notifications blowing up my phone. I really need Google to solve this already. Fix it. Make Android just a little bit more intuitive like iOS. This is the reason why iOS wins some arguments when people from iOS talk shit about Android. It's because iOS plays well with other devices. Their ecosystem is really good. And Android is getting there with theirs. Don't get me wrong, but for the love of Jeeves, can they please make it Can they polish their ecosystems, um, communications much better to where I don't get 5 months of notifications because I kept the phone off for 5 months. I've checked it already. That's what I want to see in Android 12. They're not going to get rid of the call screening. Oh, let me take that back. Google likes to kill things. They're not going to get rid of it just yet. Keep the call screening, and if they could have Android 12 text screen text. Why? You already kind of have that. Your notification shade, when you drop down and it shows you like text from Tito and it has that little arrow and you hit it, it gives you a synopsis of it gives you like the opening of my message before you have to open it. So if you don't want to hear like my political garbage, you can just swipe it away. Android has to sell you a new phone. New versions of Android depend on the memory resources of the hardware. Yeah. Except for Pixels, they get 2 major software updates and 3 years of security patch. So hopefully with their own processing chip, it'll now extend to 5 years of OS support. That would be nice. Buy a Pixel 6 and it will last you to a while. But I can see why that they don't do 5 years support on Pixels, because they don't want to fall into the same problem that Apple falls into. Ooh, that sounds like gunshots. See, Apple had a problem with making sales. This is the reason why they got busted, purposely slowing people's phones down. And then they try to say it was because the batteries were weak. No, it's because you wanted it to start glitching and getting all buggy and garbage, because then you wanted people to get mad and be like, I hate my iPhone 6. I'm buying an iPhone 10s. Because they made the phones last to support for 5 years, that there's still people today that's on the iPhone 7. There's still people on the iPhone 6s. They just don't upgrade. Can't make money that way. You can't force people to, but then again, you can if you just slip a little software update that causes issues with the phone. They won't know unless a geek actually gets into it and then finds out you fucked up, and then boom, they're just like, they're busted. And then, yeah, you get sued like Apple did. Yes, when you turn on your Pixel device after 1 month, I have auto text delete, so you're not getting 1 month of text, but you are getting 1 month of Facebook stuff, 1 month of freaking Twitter stuff, gunshots. I want to make sure the wife and kids are inside. My kids are inside. They're not out here. And my lady's actually at work. She's not here right now. So, but I appreciate your concern, man. Yeah, everything's fine. I guess I'm used to it. This is kind of the reason why I want to move out of Phoenix and take my kids to go live in a small town in Oklahoma. It's not this kind of stuff, not this kind of environment, so I would feel much, much better for them. But yeah, that's what I want to see in Android 12. Also, what I want to see in Android 12, I want to see them update the UI. Okay, kind of over this minimalist kind of look. I really want them to kind of change it up. Because you remember how like people would be like, they can identify Android and different types of Android, because like Eclair looks so much different from Donut, and Eclair looked different from Froyo, and Froyo looked different from Gingerbread, and Gingerbread looked different from Honeycomb, and Honeycomb was only for tablets. And people did port it to Android devices, but it was initially made for tablets. And then Honeycomb looked different from Ice Cream Sandwich, and Ice Cream Sandwich looked different from Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean different from Kit Kat. Kit Kat different from Lollipop. You guys see what I'm saying? Like, it's time that we got a refresher in the UI. Even if they switched it up and they went with what Project Fuchsia looked like, I would be okay with that. We just need something new. Okay. Android is starting to get boring, like iOS has been boring for the longest time. A new color scheme would be nice. But then again, with Android 11, you can choose a color scheme, right? You can have your notification tiles, pink, orange, green, blue, or whatever. But yeah, I just really would like some sort of change. More presets, I guess you can say. I really, really would like that. I really would. We'll love to see that. What else would I want to see in Android 12? I want my AI much smarter, right? And I would love for them to make it easy for people to find privacy settings for your AI. Where you don't have to jump through hoops to try to find a way to turn off Google Assistant from listening at all times. Because Google Assistant listens all the time. This is how, if you're sitting in a car, you don't know the name of the music and you're too afraid to ask, all you gotta do is just like pick up your phone and look at the lock screen, and down here it'll tell you the name of the song and the artist who sings it. Google Assistant's listening all the time, but some people just don't trust Google Assistant, so they want it turned off. They need to make it where it's much easier to turn off instead of having to go here and then go here and then scroll down here, click here, go in here, and then go down here and uncheck this, uncheck that, uncheck that. Like that's just too much for people to do. Just make it very simple. Have it in settings. Make an entire tile set in settings for Google Assistant, and have every preset setting in there. Turn on or off. Turn on hot words, turn off hot words, turn on always listening, turn on listening between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., turn on, like those types of things. So I like the feeling, I like the relaxing feel of rural America, small towns, but I need the infrastructure that comes with metro areas. Yeah. I mean, be better if life was like Burger King and you can have it your way. Would be. I totally get it. So I visit rural America and I live in metro areas. Yeah, no. I'll live in rural America. Why do Pixels get the latest Android versions first, then the other devices get them later down the road? Easy answer to that question. Because Pixels is Google's device. So they don't have to wait to get the update. Whereas Samsung, they get access to Android 12 the exact same time that Pixels do. But Samsung decides when and where they want to release a new update carrying the new software. And most of the time they just don't. Right? Plus too, it'd be kind of laughable, right? It'd be laughable if Android 12 came out and the Samsung Galaxy S21 got it first before the Pixel 5 did, before the Pixel 6 did. You know what I mean? So it's Google's own thing. They gotta have their own products updated with it first, like right away. So they don't waste time. As soon as it's available, it's ready. This is why they have the Android beta program. I'm going to talk about this before I close out this live stream. But the Android beta program is initially for that. It's initially for beta testing. So I'm going to say this right now. Good rule of thumb: when you don't join the beta program until they're at beta 5 or 6. If they're at beta version 5 or 6, then you can. Because betas 1, 2, well, alpha 1, alpha 2, no, it's alpha 1, beta 1, or beta 2 they call it, beta 3 and beta 4. Those are going to be filled with a lot of bugs. A lot of apps, such as like your banking app, is not going to be running properly because they don't have the updated APIs for it. Right. So if your phone, like at the Pixel 4, uses Face Unlock with my Navy Federal Credit Union app, that will be broken if there was a new feature in Android 12 that the APIs wasn't sent out for that device to use. So there's a lot of things that won't be functional. Like Pokemon Go would not be functional because, again, they don't have the updated APIs. So betas 2, 3, and 4 is where they test all the glitches and errors and stuff like that so they can get it smoothed out. Beta 5 and 6 is just to iron out the little bit of bugs. And usually by the time beta 6 is out, maybe like a week later, the official version drops. So like Android 12 beta 6, if that comes out in like, August 4th, then August 11th or August 12th is when the full version Android 12 will come out. I love the Android 11 beta. I tried it. It was interesting. Yeah, it's just you get a sneak peek at what the operating system is going to look like. You get a sneak peek at it. You get to see the features. You know what I mean? Like with Android 11 beta, one of the things I played around with a lot was screen recording because that was natively coming to Android. You didn't have to download a third-party app to record your screen, which a lot of people liked because on iOS, you could natively screen record. You know what I mean? So people playing Pokemon Go and making YouTube videos about it, they had iPhones because they could just record their screen as they're playing from their iPhone and then vlog like this with it on the side right here showing what they were playing. On Android, you had like all these different watermarks and stuff like that because you're using third-party apps, and of course, using third-party apps increased the usage of RAM, which then made it sluggish. So having it natively built in made it much easier for it to function. It's over now. I'm guessing the beta for Android 12 is getting ready to begin. Yeah, because this year Android 12 is coming out, so beta for it's going to be popping up. I'd say maybe end of February, beginning of March, because they usually drop the next version of Android like in August, 2 months before the next Pixel comes out. So we should start seeing like Android beta, which is interesting because Android 11 beta, the very first betas or alphas, if you want to call them that, you actually had to use Android SDK and sideload them onto your phone. The beta program website, which was an Android, let's see, android.co/beta, that site didn't have the latest betas up just yet. You had to sideload it through Android SDK and flash it on there, flash the image on there. So I don't know if they're going to do the same thing this time, where we won't actually see the beta until they're like at beta 3 or beta 4. If they do, that's totally fine. But again, that we won't see that till like about March or April, because I know that they're going to tell us a lot about Android 12 at Google I/O this year. Hopefully, it's going to be more eventful than what it was, but that's where we'll see it. Let's see. Android needs to also focus on building a Android Light OS. Yeah, CV Tech is right. They do have. It's called Android Go, and it is awful. It's awful because it's not intended to. Android Go is not intended to run on the type of network capacity that we have here in the United States. It's actually meant to run in very undeveloped areas, like areas of Africa, where they use weather balloon type devices to deliver internet. It's made to run over there. So Android Go was never intended to run here in the United States as like a light version that you can use to be better equipped. Now, I always felt that Android Go could revive very old devices, but then again, there's no point in really reviving very old devices, because very old devices is not going to have the network LTE compatibility bands, much less 5G bands, to perform good today, right? You would think, oh, this thing's old, the processing chip is dead, it's sluggish. Like, no, it's because it only connects to maybe band 4 and band 5, and it doesn't have aggregation, it doesn't have 10 by 10 MIMO. And so yeah, you're the placebo effect. You use a phone today that has all the LTE bands, 5G NRs, and aggregation and MIMO technology, it's going to be blazing fast. You go back to something that doesn't have this, and it's going to be slow, like dial up. But when you got the phone, it was fast, way back in the day. That's because you didn't see anything faster. Let's see. I was, as was the call screening and call on hold. Isn't Android Go on a lot of budget devices here in the US? No, they're not on a lot of budget devices here in the US. Older versions of Android is, but not Android Go. There's maybe, I think, 10 Android Go devices. They sold a couple. I know Boost Mobile carried one, but most of the Android Go devices are sold like in China, India, Cambodia, Thailand has them, and in Africa too as well, like in South Africa, like some of those places. There's places where like the LTE and advanced LTE is not really built out well. These devices are made to be cheap, so you can use cheap components like a Snapdragon 210 or a Snapdragon 220 or 222 or 227, which is a very weak processing chip to what we have in our phones today, but it'll be functional on a processing chip of that caliber with very minimal amount of RAM and be able to function. Now, you take a Android Go phone to Thailand, like to the northern part of Thailand, the country area, and while CV Tech says it's horrible and slow, to those people that live out there in the country, that's fast. That's fast to them. And you'll probably scratch your head like, what do you mean it's fast? It's slow. And if you were to bust out your Pixel 5 and be like, check this out, That's going to be super fast for them. You know what I mean? It's called the placebo effect. It's slow to us because we've seen faster. It's fast to them because they haven't seen anything fast. I have AT&T Radiant Core devices that has Android Go and Android 9. It's horrible. Yeah, Google has built a light OS for their laptops called Chromebook. Wife bought one and she likes it. A light OS? You mean Chrome OS? Chrome OS has always been light. There's not a heavy version of Chrome OS. Chrome OS has always been light. The reason why that Chrome OS got clowned by a lot of people in its popularity coming up was because there wasn't like a heavy software behind it. Like Windows 10 was a heavy software. Chrome OS really wasn't that. It really was just Chrome. It's like Chrome browser. Like as soon as when you turn on an original Chromebook, so not the updated ones that run Android apps, but original Chromebook, the only thing you could do was open up Chrome, which is a Chrome browser, and then do what you wanted to do on there. Right now, they've evolved Chrome OS to accept Android APKs, so you can download from the Google Play Store and run apps like you would run the Chrome browser. That's all it really is. I thought China has 5G already. Did I say China? Because I know I said Thailand. I know I said Cambodia. China doesn't have it all over. Trust me. South China is not going to have it. Country rural areas is not going to have it. You're talking about main city areas, including like the offshore city or the offshore island, Hong Kong. Yeah, they'll have it. You go like to the border of China and Vietnam. No, it's not going to have 5G. My Pixel 3 got screen record update along with the on hold feature update. That's crazy because they actually had that before the hold for me feature came to Pixel 3. Because I could screen record with my Pixel 3 when the Android 11 software update came up. It's when the second Pixel drop came out in 2020 is when the hold for me feature came. No, it wasn't the second one. Wait, there was one in March. There was one in June. There's one in December or November. Yeah, third one. The third Pixel drop. See, the Pixel drop is not an Android software security patch update or anything like that. Pixel drop is just actually just native features brought to the Pixel with an update. So like Pixels get like different updates. They get the OS update, which is jumping from like Android 11 to Android 12. Security patch update, which fixes security issues and bugs. Pixel drop, which updates the phone to support the latest Pixel features in Android OS. And then the Play Store update or Play System update, which is geared towards the Play Store and applications and application compatibility. So it's 4 updates that the Pixels get. They're all separate. I didn't have it when I got it 2 weeks ago. I had it on my Pixel 3 back in December. I want to say late December, roughly about there is when I got it. Because the Pixel drop happened like in the first week or second week of December. That's when I got it. The hold for me. Screen recording, I got that in September. So a month after the Android 11 update came out. I got screen recording on the Pixel 3. Let's see. My wife gave me her RCA Windows 10 laptop. I like Windows 10. Yeah, Windows is going to be is always, and I don't even know why they use the guys from Pawn Stars to do a commercial to talk crap about Chromebooks and say why they ain't worth anything. They're worth something. They were totally wrong about that. But Windows is a heavy software, and it's got a lot of it's a universe. It's a software universe that can hold a lot of softwares within it. You can install music software, you can install video editing software, you can install gaming software, you can install all kinds of softwares on it. So it's a giant software universe with a bunch of softwares you can put in it. Chrome OS is just Chrome OS. It's Chrome. Runs on a laptop format. It's like when think of Chrome OS as the Chrome browser you download on Windows. But now you don't have an entire software universe like Windows behind it. It's not the skeleton structure of it. The Chrome browser is the structure of it. So that's difference there. But anyways, guys, I've been on here for about an hour and 40 minutes. It's time for me to get off. I do want to thank everybody that came in. Again, shout out to my members. I know I've been rolling their name through here. But shout out to the members of the channel. Appreciate you guys for being a member. Really love you guys a lot for that. Shout out for everyone that came in. Gene, Michael, Oscar, Maverick, Baby Yoda, CV Tech. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. Josh as well, for hanging out on the live stream.
I'm taking a cool down. I'm hot.
She will always try to find a way for you guys to hear her to talk, which she really thinks she's famous. The on hold block popped up and said, this is a new update. Yeah, on hold recently came out in December for me. But the screen record came out earlier last year. China might already have 5G, but their wireless channel bands are different from what AT&T T-Mobile has. Oh gosh, they're picking on their little brother. Anyways, yeah, that's why I got to go too. So take it easy, you guys. You guys are awesome. If you guys want to help support the channel, you guys know how. There you guys have it right there. I'm trying to focus here, but I'm listening to my son cry. I'm trying to figure out why he's crying and get going here. But yeah, you guys want to any help support you guys give goes to the kiddos anyways. So just spitballing that out. There's also the Facebook group, Facebook, the Geeks Den. You guys can follow me there and keep up with what I post on there. But that is it for right now. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Love you guys very much. Thanks for the interesting conversations too as well. And as always, law.